not exist independently, inherently, how can I know I complete?
Hello.
Then I answered by saying, if your girlfriend do not have inherent existence, you can love your girlfriend more than before. If your girl has independent existence, then there's no hurry. She's not going anywhere, existing independently from her own side. So you can love her anytime. She will be there forever. She will not die. Now that he is impermanent, he doesn't have inherent existence. He can be born anytime. So therefore, now is the time to love, to take care. So therefore, if you understand the reality of impermanence, interdependent origination, having no inherent existence, then your eye will open. Your eye will open. Then you will really start caring about others. There will be like magical transformation in your way of thinking. So therefore, when you develop this understanding of emptiness, compassion will automatically come. Automatically come. When I develop very good understanding of impermanence and emptiness, then I know these people. Somehow, because of some karmic connection, I'm invited and I'm able to spend this great 4 days with you. All these young people now after that they go somewhere, maybe never see again, whatever. I think then yes, this is the opportunity, help them, encourage them, inspire them, and wish they have very good journey in their life and successful journey for many lives to come. That will automatically come. Automatically come. I what I was doing in Mumbai. There was an elderly lady, mother. She said, I worry so much about my child. That was after child, what yeah? 40 years. Mother ऐसे होता है. So if you really care about others, then it doesn't matter whatever is the age. You worry, you show concern. वो क्या कर रहा है? कोई बोला था, मुझे चिंता कर रही है, अभी कहाँ जा रहा हूँ? But sometimes this kind of worry is unrealistic, right? But you should have that kind of concern towards everybody, right? So by friends and relatives, these are them. जब से मैंने गुस्सा हुआ तब से मेरा रिश्ता अच्छा हो गया, ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता. Though grown by my generosity, they will not trust me, meaning that even if I give them money, give them things, but still occasionally if I show my anger, they will not come close to me. Right? They will run away, they will try to run away from me. In brief, there is nobody who lives happily with anger. So he's saying, in brief, there's nobody who says that I get angry very often, so I'm very happy. Hence, this enemy anger creates suffering such as these. But whoever insidiously overcomes it finds happiness now and here. Right? And from where anger comes? Next line says, having found its object of mental happiness in the prevention of what I wish for and in the doing of what I do not want, hatred increases and then destroys me. So anger comes. Anger comes when somebody does something that you don't like, or somebody obstructs what you like, then you get angry. And when you get angry, then you develop sometimes hatred, and then it destroys you. You become the first casualty. So therefore, if you want to destroy anger, don't give food to the anger. What is food to the anger? Huh? What is the lunch, dinner, or food for the anger? What is the food for anger? Huh? Food for anger is unhappiness of mind. When you are unhappy, then you get angry. When you are unhappy, then you take drugs. So all these weaknesses that you develop shows that you are not happy. But they are not the solution. They are not the solution. You become more unhappy. Right? So there are better ways of treating those negative emotions, including anger. ये तो आपने सीख लिया है, आपने angry. इसलिए आपने क्या करना है? इसको खाना मत दो, खाना बंद कर दो. इसका है, हाँ, unhappiness of mind. Your friends, you are able to think clearly, and you can find the solution. ठीक है ना? Therefore, I should totally eradicate. Eradicate means I mean destroy the food of this enemy, the fuel of this enemy. For this enemy has no other function than they will causing me harm. So like that, for every negative emotion, there is a food. Stop feeding that negative emotion. Then those negative emotions will not arise. Right? And the next line is so beautiful. This is what I was actually telling you. Whatever befalls me, I shall not disturb my mental joy. For having been made unhappy, I shall not accomplish what I wish. And my virtues will decline. And this one, I think all of you know this next verse. Why be unhappy about something if it can be remedied? And what is the use of being unhappy about something if it cannot be remedied? So that means if it is something that you can change, don't worry, because you can change. If it is something you can't change, no use worrying. No use worrying. By worrying, you can't change it. The other day, I give you the example of somebody who has lost his left hand. I give you that example. You remember? So that is the reality. That person has lost his left hand. Now there are two ways of looking at that. One is you should feel that I am the most miserable person in this world. I don't have the left hand. For the rest of your life, what will you get? Only problem. Right? No point, no use. So instead of that, instead of thinking about the missing hand, you should think about the fact that I have the right hand, which is more strong, more powerful, which does the lifting, which does the writing. So I'm happy. And I'm happy because I've lost only one hand, but there are people who have lost both the legs and both the hands. So what, even if you are in a very difficult situation, have you watched some of the Paralympics? See? I mean, they have nothing, but still they are so cheerful because their determination is there. They don't take drugs. अभी हम लोग यहाँ थोड़ा सा तकलीफ होने से भी बोलते हैं टांगे लूंगा खुद को ही कर लूंगा क्या कौन सा हीरो बने यार ऐसा कभी नहीं होना चाहिए. And did I tell you that story of Thai girl who went to fight at the border? So before he goes to the border to fight with the enemy, he tattoos his whole body, which is a Buddhist ritual. Through a Buddhist ritual, he tattoos his whole body, thinking that he will be protected. And he goes to the war, and he was caught by the enemy, and the enemy cut both of his hands and both of his legs. But he did not die. So he came back. Asked me if you went to war, and before you went there, you tattooed your body, thinking you did the Buddhist ritual of tattooing your body, thinking that you will be protected. Now see, you've lost both of your hands and both of your legs. So what do you say? I can't imagine this. This is a real story. This person without hand, without legs, beams at the television and says, I am still alive. That is called mental courage. He was not worried about the missing hand, missing legs. I am still alive. This is how you can think positively. So we are very lucky. We are not dogs, we are not mosquitoes. We are human beings with this amazing intelligence. Now in the case of Ladakh also, I think you are basically economically also doing quite well, right? So when you face small problems, don't go after drugs and other stupid stuff. Right? Useless, stupid. Very important not to resort to anything that will destroy your health, destroy your happiness, and destroy happiness of your parents and those who think, those who care about you. Don't do that. For example, take example of my life. I was also not an educated person in the beginning. I am, of course, not a special guru or a reincarnate anything. I was, even around the age of 6, 7, I had to leave my country. And I started begging with my mother in Nepal. We came through Nepal. And then when you are too small, you don't know much. So my mother used to go begging, and I used to go with her. So when my mother starts begging, Ama Bichado, I still remember. I also used to say, Ama Bichado. My mother, of course, I can see tears rolling on her face. Because when we were in Tibet, we belonged to a relatively good family. Right? But because of great leadership of His Holiness, because of what we learned from Buddhism, I don't remember I experienced great heartache, you see, even under such situations. Then we went first to, my parents spent some time in Narkenda near Shimla as road constructors. When they do the road construction, they put me and other small kids by the side of the road. दूर में छोड़ देता था. अभी आजकल दिखता है ना इधर उधर, उसी तरह किया हमने सब. ठीक है ना? Still we were quite happy. Then gradually we were sent to the schools supported by the Indian government. My first school was in Mount Abu, Rajasthan, where the accommodation, the building was like palace, amazing. Used to be palace. but the food we get really horrible. In those days, I never say horrible. Now when I look it, it's horrible because most of the food that we get were kind of gifts given by American Red Cross and things like that. So that the maki or something, they are mixed with bugs. We used to eat it, something like that, right? But I never resorted to forget about drug. We even don't know what is drug, of course. I never resorted to smoking even or drinking. Nothing in my case, nothing throughout my life. And very few people did smoking and those things also because because the community was strong. Community was really thinking about doing good. So even in very difficult situations, you can still love and dance. And we used to study. We don't know how to study, but we used to study so hard. At that time, when you go to the assembly, we call it, where you first thing you to do is Janagana Mana Adhinaya, and all these things. You will not see a single student without book in their hand. Everybody has a book. There was so much like encouragement, enthusiasm. And we used to read those books because there's no, at particular time you have to switch off the light in the main sleeping room. Then you have to just go down to the street and try to read under the street light. The street light is like tall, so the light is hardly there, but you read like this. This is one reason my eyesight also became very bad at that time, right? So we used to study until 2 p.m. or something like that, but we have really no idea what we are studying. We are simply mugging up things. So there was a joke, one student who like us, and he was especially like more stupid or whatever. So he was mugging up. Rana Pratap Chera. He used to mugging up this Chetak Rana Pratap. You know that, huh? Chetak Rana Pratap. So he used to mug up Chetak Rana Pratap. Chetak Rana Pratap. फिर धीरे धीरे बोलेगा राणा प्रताप चेता पे बुरा है. We have no idea what we are memorizing, right? So like that, we struggle, you see. Not me, the previous generations, they struggle very hard. And even in Ladakh, although you live in a free country, I know that your parents struggle very hard. The life is not so hospitable, communication was not there. Even when for the first time I came to Leh, there was not much there really. I came here now maybe more than 10 times. So they struggle hard. Now this generation, I think, is very lucky. You have so many facilities. So now instead of properly using this facility, if you resort to taking, abusive substances and things like that, it's shameful. So you should encourage your friends not to do that. They can change. They can change. Everybody make mistake. They can change. Because if we come up with a new generation who forget about not only the culture, language, religion, but also don't know how to take care of their health. फिर क्या होगा फिर? What will happen to the Sanskriti, the great culture that we have? Because today Buddhism is highly, highly in demand throughout the world. And it has benefited so many people. And I'm Buddhist, we all have this capability, be happy but can contribute to others. As I told you, I'm really nobody, right? But I give small teachings here and there when people invite me. But through my sincere explanation and teaching, there are a few people who were trying to commit suicide and I managed to save them. Why? Not because I have some magical formula or things like that, but people do these things due to short-sightedness, due to lack of encouragement. So if you highlight, right? then they stop doing those things.
So it is possible. So you should really help, not only rely on the government and other agencies, but you should also be alert. Because anybody can take drugs like that. They put it here, a small amount here, you know. Or if it is LSD, then they'll put a vapor here somewhere. You have no idea it's there. Right? This is very, very important. So this is very important. Remember this. If it is something I can change, no need to worry because I can change. If it is something I cannot change, forget it.
If you face a difficulty which you think is no solution, pick up. You're right, but I have very nice body. Sale ko goli maro. This is really important because sometimes, we are like small kids. Small kids, they say, "Mommy, I like lollipop." And then mother says, "I don't have lollipop." Is go, "नहीं, मुझे lollipop ही चाहिए." ऐसा मत करो.
Even if you, for example, in exam or in this other initiatives, if you fail, that doesn't mean you have failed in your life.
If you don't do very well, first of all,
Try to do very well, but sometimes it doesn't happen. Okay. I remember very clearly one of my niece, she says, so she failed, and she came to stay with me, and she was so scared. मुझे पता है उसके पास डर है कुछ भी एक भी शब्द मुझे पता है she failed एक भी शब्द नहीं बोला फिर धीरे-धीरे more happy he was not saying anything. Then I said, you have something, no problem, you are happy. You are a good person. Right? So there's no kind of life that you succeed every time. Sometimes is the stepping stone for success. Stop सकता है आदमी. एक बार कहता है ना, फिर से सफल की जब सीखता है. कभी नहीं चाहिए. है ना? So just perspective. I didn't do so well, but I did very well here. I did very well here, but I did well here. See, not just respected. Many aspects. Right? So you try something, everything doesn't happen, then what should you say? In Hindi you should say, "Samay goli maro." And in English you say, "Go have it you." And then take some other new initiatives, do something other, and then you'll be happy.